Jabuticaba land is a piece of land that's in a valley very close to Durban, about 20 kilometers. Natural habitat, we've got sort of lots of indigenous trees, some flora and fauna, and we've got lots of interesting things going on here. We've got restaurants, we have some bike trails and hiking trails, and so and we've been going now for about 10 years. My main work, or what puts food on the table, is a company that I've got, Ubergrass, the grass warehouse. I do artificial grass. I would say about 3 years ago we started putting in a restaurant, teepee tents. We got people that come and stay over the weekend. We've got events that go on here. We've got a small wedding venue, outdoor wedding venue. So we've been blessed in that we've been supported by the local communities and Pinetown, Durban in general. So Jabuticaba berries is, or the Jabuticaba trees, has now been going on for about 12, 15 years. It's a passion of mine. I am a landscaper. I came across the tree in Durban roughly about 15 years ago. I was moving some trees for a client. I noticed this very unusual, beautiful, amazing tree, aesthetically, in terms of the leaves, the branches, etc. And the gentleman explained to me that the previous owner had been all over the world, that he had brought all these weird and wonderful plants and trees, and this was one of them. And the amazing thing is obviously that the fruit didn't grow traditionally on the end of the branches, but it actually grew on the stem, on the branches, and it looked weird and wonderful. And he offered for me to taste it, and that's when I was completely sort of blown away, excuse the expression, but you know, the fruit is so sweet. It's an amazing fruit. It reminded me of when I was in Portugal between the ages of 8 and 12, living with my grandparents, and it tasted like our table grapes. So aesthetically, the way the leaves were, the color of the leaves, the branches, the way the plant actually peels like a leopard tree, you know, the rough and sort of, it's not straight stems, it's like crooked stems. It was an amazing looking tree. So yes, that's how it all started, the fruit, the taste of the fruit and the amazing tree. And from there I've been growing the tree now I've been growing from seeds. So I've got approximately about 20,000 trees, which I've grown from seed. And everyone that I've given the fruit to taste is simply sort of amazed at how nice the fruit is, and that they haven't seen it in the shops before. So I aim to change that. So the fruit itself is in Brazil is very popular. It's one of their top fruits. So I'm in the process of introducing it to South Africa, or reintroducing, let's put it that way, because there are trees out there and people that have tasted absolutely love the fruit and are keen on buying trees. And I'm sort of going about this in a two-pronged way. One, I have the trees growing in plastic bags, so I can ship them all over the country if deemed necessary. So I can sell a tree or 2 trees or whatever the client requires, that they can have this fruit in their garden, growing in their garden. And I've also been planting that I will be in future producing fruit to supply the various fruit and veg shops and any sort of niche markets. The Jabuticaba, in terms of the fruit itself, is unique in that it gives you, the tree itself gives you more than 1 crop per year. I've had personally about 3 crops in 1 year. Of course, it's very sweet. It's got all the health benefits that one would look in a fruit. And of course, the skin is quite tough, so you don't actually have insect problems that can damage the fruit. So the tree is also exceptional in that it can grow in the shade. They grow very well in the sun. It's got a very small root system, which makes a tree moderate growing. But also you can grow it in a pot. You can have it in a pot in the garden. You can literally have it in your lounge and pick fruit from the tree in the lounge. So I keep the trees to about 3 meter height. By pruning them, it doesn't affect the fruit-bearing capabilities, because the fruit actually grows on the stem and the branches. And then what I do basically is that I put a bird netting when the fruit is about to go purple. I collect my fair share, make beautiful jam, amazing jam. I then leave the net on for about 2 weeks to make sure that the fruit gets to its full sort of sweetness. I then collect the fruit that I require. I leave some on the tree for the birds and the monkeys, and we all live happily. Besides the love for agriculture, I just think that inherently we all like to sort of tinker. We all want to tinker with soil. We all want to grow something. We get pleasure of growing something. Sometimes we don't have the ability or the facility, call it that, and not so much ability, but we don't have the knowledge, know-how, and we sort of fail maybe when then you start to say you don't have green fingers, which is actually not the case. It's just you may not have the knowledge or you may not have the time. But inherently, I think we all like to grow stuff. We all get pleasure of seeing something grow and bear fruit or flower or nuts or vegetable, whatever it may be. So I think going forward, and if one actually even looks, for example, what we've had recently, when we've had COVID and everybody got a fright that things are going to run out in the shops and that type of thing, would have been ideal for everyone to have their little fruit trees and their little vegetables, and we were caught a little bit flat-footed. Yeah, I just think that as time goes on, I think more and more people should, instead of just planting trees that only provide shade, that you should plant trees and vegetables that you can, just look after it and eat from it and use it in the garden. Ideally, that's what I think landscaping should go more towards.